Greetings and salutations, my dear audience. This is Joe St. Egg Benedictus coming at you with another Bible review from a find that I got in the used bookstore. Pretty cool Bible, the Harper Study Bible, New American Standard Version, red letter edition from Zondervan. There's the number there if you need the ISBN number. I want to give a shout out to my friend pal Mike and to all the visionaries and mystics out there. Thank you for joining me. As you know, I really enjoy finding used Bibles and all kinds of fun Bibles and used Bibles and Bibles with personality. I don't really do new Bibles, so I just really enjoy finding Bibles. So found this treasure for a whopping $1. All right. So let's jump right into it. First of all, as I mentioned, it's a Harper Study Bible. The reason why this Bible attracted me, one, it was in really good shape. It's this kind of brown burgundy-ish leather, bonded leather, according to the back of it. And I picked it up, one, because it's in good shape. I really like the personality of the used leather. It is published in 1985, but the Harper Study Bible, according to my research, came out in 1964. And I didn't really know what a Harper Study Bible was. I never really heard of it, don't know anything about it. So I did a little research online, and I realized that the first Harper Study Bible, as far as I can tell, was a Revised Standard Version Harper Study Bible from Harper and Row Publishers. And because it came out with the Revised Standard Version, at the time, it was pegged as a more liberal or progressive Bible. This is an updated version, 1985. So let's go through it and point out a few things about it. First of all, you can see it has this really nice gilded edging. It's pretty good shape. Now I know this Bible was used because there's writing, a little bit of writing inside, not much, some underline. It has a single ribbon. It's very old. You can see it's kind of tattered up, and it has a little knot there so that it wouldn't come undone. But it has, some wear and tear on the edges, but again, adds a little bit of personality. On the inside, it's, I think this is a kind of a vinyl-y paste down. It's not really cardboard, it's very soft, so probably vinyl. And you have the presentation page, as you can see. All right, births, deaths, marriages, kind of Zondervan kind of presentation stuff. This is interesting because this shows all of the notes or revisions. So it says the following additions should be made to the notes of this edition of the Harper Study Bible. So I don't know if this is like a test run version or a proof version, or that they made this a part of the 1985 update for you to do the updating yourself. Not really sure what it is, but that's how it came. Again, Bibles with a lot of personality. Really, really do like it. Of course, this particular study Bible is the New American Standard, so not the revised version, so it's not the original. The 85, I think, went towards the NASB because it wanted to reach out more to evangelicals, and it was pegged as that liberal kind of study Bible. This one was apparently purchased or notated in November 90. I covered the name, so don't mind that. You can see that the particular Harper Study Bible was, the original editor was Harold Linsell. So again, if you do research on the Harper Study Bible, that name is tied to it. The copyright date is 1985, but the original materials is Harper and Row 1964. So it said here it was assigned to Zondervan in 1965. And so it gives you kind of a forward here, scriptural promise. This is the preface to the NASB, the Lockman Foundation Fourfold Aim. And table of contents, very straightforward. You have the Old Testament, New Testament. There is a concordance in the back. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And this is the forward to the new revised here, the new revised 1985 version of the Harpers. And it goes out of the way to remind you, one, that the Bible is inspired, that this is a sound Bible for conservative reading. So it really does go out of the way to mention conservative reading. And I noticed that word pop up a few times to try to help evangelicals get more comfortable with this particular Bible. So here you have book introductions. You have the authorship and background here. characteristics. So here it talks about the JEDP of the what we call the four source hypothesis of Genesis, back from the late 1700s or mid 1800s. But it says here, scholars in the conservative tradition, however, regard the Pentateuch as essentially Mosaic and attributes its authorship to Moses. So again, it goes out of its way to really bring in an evangelical kind of perspective. And I just found that very interesting. So it also gives kind of an outline of the book, which I find very interesting and very thorough. So, this is not a bad Bible. It's very scholarly and can give you a real run for the money. So as you can see here, we have the book. It has cross-references, single column, verse by verse, as many NASBs are. Many of you are looking for, the old school NASB rather than the newer ones. Go to your used bookstore, your thrift stores. I got my local used bookstores, or the Lubs, as my daughter calls it. And you can see that the notes, if you look in the Harper Bible, the notes are very scholarly. It talks about monotheism coming out of a kind of primitive kind of ideas of creation. It talks about the Hebrew language of creation, the importance of creation of man and woman. It says here, let us make man. So many interpret us to mean the Trinity, but early readers probably understood the word as a plural of majesty, just as the plural Elohim in Hebrew is used for God to denote his majesty and attributes. So it gives you a very scholarly perspective that will give you more of a nuanced reading of the Bible. And I just really appreciate that. When we move over to the New Testament, if you don't mind, we go to the New Testament. It is red letter edition, as it says on the spine. But one of the things I really find interesting about this study Bible are several things. Okay, I was looking at Mark earlier as I'm preaching in Mark this season. So it gives you the cross references on the side, a nice layout, study notes, single column, as I mentioned, red letter. But it also, if you look at the subject heading, it gives you, I'll hold it up a little bit, it gives you the parallels in the other Gospels, or cross-references to the other Gospels. So when I'm preparing for a sermon and I want to say, look at the other Gospels and say the call of the first four disciples, it's going to not only give you cross-references on the side, but also give you the synoptic and John's references. I really like that. I find it useful. The New Oxford Annotated Bible does do that in the footnotes, but to have it very clear and concise with the heading breaks, I think makes it very, very useful. I was seriously considering, as I was looking through this Bible, of using this for sermon prep over and against my New Oxford Annotated Bible. I know that's like heretical for me to say, because I love my New Oxford Annotated Bible, but my New Oxford Annotated Bible 4th edition is falling apart. It's showing some age, and I thought, this is older than it, but it's really in good condition. I mean, the sewn binding is in really good shape. The gilding is in good shape. It's light. It's easy to carry, and the notes are phenomenal, as far as I can tell. Though there are not many. The only thing that I don't like is the red letter edition. It's for me, very distracting. It's not a very bold red letter. I think it flows well with the black. It's not harsh to the eyes, but and I really like the verse by verse single column. I think that's easy to study, but the red letter just really gets me. So what I did was I kind of moved over to the non-red red letters. Just moved out of the Gospels to the letters. And I just really like it. I love the subject headings and how it's split up. Just think it's a really neat Bible. Again, this is my first look at a Harper Study Bible. Again, never heard of it. Came out when I was young, before my time, but it looks to be a very solid Bible. Here's an index to the annotations. I think that's very useful. I read up on wineskins and old and new wineskins a few minutes ago as I'm preaching on that this week. And, sure enough, Luke 5 has a reference on wineskins. So if I'm preparing for my sermon on wineskins, just go to the W's here, and we have wine. We don't have wineskins, but oh yeah, okay. So this is wine. Parable of the new wine. That would include the wineskins. Luke 5:36, and it gives you the page number. So to me, that's very useful. We also have a concordance. I'm assuming that's the, again, NASB concordance that you get with any NASB in this time. And then the other thing I really like, I'm going to show you this, are the maps. It gives you, I don't know, a few maps, but check this out. It's really awesome. It's almost like a watercolored feel to it. It has a kind of a bold red line for movement, including, we'll look at Paul's missionary journeys, but look at how it's kind of painted in this watercolory feel. I really love it. I'm telling you, I really like this Bible. The map goes into the index, but by this point, the Bible lays flat. So as you can see, I mean, it's a pretty flat layout, and stays open, even though it's at the end of the Bible. So it's very clear. I love this artwork. You can just tell somebody lovingly did that and spent time on it rather than just a computer-generated map. And just really love these old maps. I mean, it's very cool. Okay, you have the various other maps, kind of locations. You can see somebody circled that in their Sharpie at that time, but the ministry of Jesus' travels, really like that as well. Travels of the apostles. They have all kinds of apostles here. That's something I've never really seen before in a map, where they had all of the apostles rather than just Paul or Jesus, and then Paul's missionary journeys with these several different colored lines. But just really love how it really just jumps out at you with the watercolor and just really brings it to life. So I really do love that. So again, just very good condition. The leather has held up well. Gilding has held up well. See there's like a little kind of a wonky piece of paper right here it's not coming out. It's just maybe a little longer, so you can see it has a little bend to it. But other than that, just a really nice Bible. Very lightweight, very easy to carry. It's probably, I don't know, let me see here. Doesn't look very, my ruler anywhere. I never have my ruler when I need it, you know? Just give me one ruler. And try to have my ruler handy. What happens to it? I don't know. It just disappears. But it's probably 6 by 9, I would think. Maybe a little less than 9, maybe 8.5. But about a little over 1 inch thick, as you can see. It doesn't have any raised ribs here. It just has the lines to give it that effect. But just a great Bible. For $1. You can't beat it. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you like this. It's, like I said, a lot of personality. Comment if you have any familiarity with this Bible, or if you have any experience with this Bible. Would love to hear from you. Like and subscribe. You know, we in the Bible community need to support one another, encourage one another, not just for the guys who do the new ones and get Bibles from the publishing companies, but for those of us who love to keep the old Bibles alive, give them life, breathe life into them, and allow the Word of God to breathe life into us. Like, subscribe. We'll see you later. Have peace and blessings today.